Hi, we hope everyone had a really safe and fun Easter. Now, if you're one of our existing clients and there's any elements of your home loan that you'd like to talk about or discuss, please don't hesitate to get in touch. If you want to look about fixing or making some changes, then that's what we're here for. Let us know. I'm happy to book in a call. The rest of this video, though, is about to help those people who are looking at buying over the next 6 months. Now, that's pretty relevant because there are usually two areas that we see where it's very stressful when you're coming to buy a house. The first is having your offer accepted, and the second is getting your finance approved. Now, both of these points at the moment are much tougher and harder than they have been for a long time. Now, the first is because agents and vendors have much higher expectations on price at the moment. There's also a lot of reports about cash buyers, and so it almost feels, if you have finance, that your offer is not as appealing or it's somehow second class. Now, if you want to buy a house in the next 6 months, you have to be looking now and tracking what homes are listing and what they're selling for, and then this will help you in knowing what price to offer, which is also one of the big challenges at the moment if you're buying your first home. Now, in a steady market, you can refer to house prices that were 3 or 6 months ago, and you can see all that sort of information. That information's on RP data, and it's also there available for sellers and also for the real estate agents as well. But in that situation at the moment, there's a lot less properties for sale, and because house prices have increased, everybody wants a record price for the house. Now, agents are promoting this when they're listing properties. They're almost telling people that they're going to get this unrealistic expectation, really high price. And it's common that sellers have not looked at other houses so that they don't realise why their house is different to the other one. Another property might have another bedroom, it might have a bigger pool, might have a much nicer backyard, but they ignore that sort of information, and they get set on a price that they want for their home. So what we recommend is this. The first thing is give yourself time so you're not under pressure to buy. Now, what does that mean? Having a long enough lease on your current house, and make sure, more importantly, that you start looking and doing your research and making offers early enough so that you've got time to buy. The second thing is have a walkaway price. So this is the price at which you have to be prepared to say to yourself, if someone offers $100 or $1,000 more than me, then I'm happy with us not getting it, and that's fine, that's my limit, that's it. Now, on this, at the moment with the process, you'll find that there's a lot of people who are making multiple offers on houses. All right, so there's a lot of situations where there's more than one offer. And so what'll happen is you might make your initial offer. So a lot of agents, what they're doing is they're getting your initial offer. Then all those people who've made an initial offer, they're giving them a second chance to make their second and final offer. So this is your chance to go to your stretch price. So how do you know what that price should be? All right, so finding a comparison point is really important. Houses that have sold in the last couple of months are much more relevant than houses that sold in the second half of last year. All right, you want to be contacting agents who've sold houses in the last 3 months, for example, and finding out A, how much the house was listed for, B, how long it was on the market for, and C, what it ended up selling for. Now, if you can find that, you also might try and find, if they give it to you, the terms of what was offered. Like, was it subject to finance, or was it a cash offer? Or was it subject to the settlement or the sale of another property? And then what you want to do is you want to be very clear on your finances. So there's two aspects of this. You want to be clear on what your borrowing capacity is, i.e. how much a bank lends you, and you also want to be clear on what the repayments would be if you went and borrowed a little bit more than what you were planning on doing. So if you borrow an extra $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, how much extra is that going to be each week in repayments, and can you afford it, and more importantly, do you want to pay that for this house? So we're also seeing some friction at the moment in a couple of areas. The first thing is the time it's taking to get a loan approved. Agents have had that story where they've had people with cash buyers, and so they're wanting to shorten or to get clients to waive their finance period. If you're in that situation, talk to me about that, and we'll see what we can do to help make sure we can get it finance approved for you as soon as possible. With our work and at Black Finance, we really focus on getting your loan approved quickly. All right, and the reason why we do that is not so much to make the real estate agents happy, but it's really because we know how stressful it is to go to buying a house. So if we can get your finance approved sooner, guess what? That stress is over, all right? And it gives you more certainty in being able to move on with stuff. So we're still continuing to do that, and we're always evaluating which lenders we're using and how long they're taking to try and make sure we're getting your loan approved as quickly as we can. Valuations are coming up and they're becoming a little bit more of an issue. Valuations, how much your house is worth relative to other properties, and those houses that have sold for high prices in February and March, it hasn't trickled through yet onto RP data. But as it'll come through, then you'll see the valuations will probably get a little bit higher, and it also makes shows the importance of making sure that you get your valuation right up front before you do anything else with your finance. We hope this is helpful. If you'd like to talk about your situation, get in touch, and we look forward to talking with you soon.